All right, hello and welcome everybody. We are into the 30s when it comes to weeks now on this Sunday night call. Super excited to be with you guys tonight. I want to go ahead and really just get the ball rolling tonight. Right now, we're going to be focusing on just a couple of key things that you need to know about the business. And so what that comes down to is that at this point, again, whether you're new to the business, whether it's day one, week one, or whether you've been with us for 6 months, 12 months, and it's time for you to engage day one, week one. Really, when you boil it down to, a lot of the content and the philosophy that we've talked about is the high level stuff that the more that you go back to and the more that you revisit, it will mean more things to you, because it's not that the material changes, it's that you change the way you are when you meet the material. And that will happen to you in your course as you grow and as you develop your business, as you start to achieve your goals, as you start to achieve the incomes that you're looking to achieve, and you start to grow beyond. But no matter what stage of the business that you're in, whether you have to develop into a level 10 leader so that you can go international and you can help people now break 6 and 7 figure incomes, even 6-figure monthly incomes, what you always have to do and what it will always come back to is the proficiency that you have in the 4 steps that we're going to talk about tonight. It always comes back to the basic 4 steps. And one of my mentors, a friend of mine who was having absolutely astounding results, said something so interesting. He said, if you boil it down and you want to look at the high levels of success, it does not matter what industry those people are in. The difference maker between the people that are having world-class results and marginal results are the people who are obsessed with the basics. Obsessed with the basics, making the basics a magnificent obsession, living the basics, teaching the basics, and executing on the basics. And so the longer that we've been looking at AAO, growing the organization, retaining customers, taking the product, testing, not guessing, and developing the different systems and the resources that we're going to have available with the corporate, office to really make this a phenomenal world-class opportunity for today, tomorrow, and years and beyond. We've reduced it to 4 categories that each and every single person who's going to be an influencer in the business has to learn how to do. 4 basic steps. And so what we're going to do tonight is that we're going to have Kevin come in and do steps 1 through 3, which if you can really nail these down, steps 1 through 3 should be able to take you from where you are today to paying probably a mortgage payment. And then step 4 is what can then allow you to scale and to start to print money, to start getting you to a point of where you can grow as big as you want to grow. So without further ado, we're going to bring one of our founding distributors, founding influencers from the company, Mr. Kevin Goldberg. He's already built a team into the thousands, and we haven't even gotten started yet. So without further ado, let's hear about 1 through 3.
I want to say 1, you're like a dream come true. No, I'm just kidding. 2. Hi, everybody. I am so excited to be here and share 1 through 3. Without further ado, number 1, test, don't guess. This is the foundational building block of all of it. I sum it down to a question. Do you care? I say that a lot, but if you care about some people that you care about, have you tested their nitric oxide levels yet? Testing, not guessing. Have you tested yourself? Testing, not guessing. Do you want to guess with heart disease? Heart disease is like running rampant as the #1 killer of everybody. And you go out there and you think, man, how do I know I have heart disease? If you don't go to the doctor regularly, it's from a heart attack. And the statistics of people that live and die from heart attacks are significant in the negative favor. So I wouldn't want to guess. I would want to test. And I wouldn't want to just test my own levels and then try our product, make sure that the product works, test again, see if it did anything to your test strips. That's important because it's going to give you belief in our product. That's going to show people that you care. It's not a sales pitch. It's a really powerful first approach, and it educates somebody on what nitric oxide does, and they may not have known that. And that one little conversation might ripple out into their life, and they'll be conscious of nitric oxide. Whether they take our product or not, you added some value, and you demonstrated that you care. And people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So we test, we don't guess. Second, and this is really profound, but customer coupon codes. This is the second building block of the whole thing. Customer coupon codes. It's no surprise that it pays 50% retail on the dollar. That's how you recoup your investment. That's how you cover your monthly. It's not very hard to do that because you haven't tried to get anybody to do a business. You haven't made it awkward. You tested, you didn't guess, you raised awareness of nitric oxide at that point, and that's what you should do when you have a meeting at your house, a meeting somewhere. It's the very first thing we do is we test, we don't guess. I ask people if they'd like to participate in a study and check out about their nitric oxide levels, or ask them if they know about nitric oxide levels and if they'd like to test theirs. And I do that with a stranger. I'll do that at different places. Customer coupon codes make this thing feel so different than every one of the competitors. It's so natural and organic in a flowing conversation. A customer with a coupon code, it's like, yeah, you can get it one time for 60, or if you get it on subscription, you can get it for 50. You can cancel anytime, but I'd rather get it cheaper. And you know what? I actually have a coupon code. If you want to use it for subscription, it'll save you an extra 25%. Why wouldn't they do that? How many times have you seen something online that's like, use my coupon code to save 25% off your first order? That is so the way our world works now. That's a competitive edge. Plus, you're saving them money. It feels natural. It's so easy to get a customer. So the question I would have first for test don't guess is, do you care? Second, for the coupon code customer things, do you want to help people save money? And on top of it too, it's like, are you wanting to get the product out there? Because to me, it's more lucrative to get a customer than to get someone as an influencer. It's also an easier conversation to get someone to be a customer, not an influencer. And if you educate them, like that audio from last week, we talked about Tony Robbins on alkalinity, or any of the other things on our product, sending out a product video or something, those things create education, which leads me to my third one. It's like the video, the website. It could be the WeLiveActive.com site that has the video presenting the business to them. If you want to show and expose the business for exposure purposes, you're exposing them to the idea and the opportunity, which will lead to a Facebook group that has all the information. That's a great way for somebody to look and take the snapshot or bird's eye view of what it is and get whatever information to make a decision. If you're going down the pathway of customers because you tested and you didn't guess, which is the way, and you're getting customers, the next logical thing is to educate them some more. Whether that's putting them in a Facebook group so they can do it themselves, or shooting over one of our many product videos to them, it's going to educate them and get them more open to wanting to buy. Think of it this way. If the average American person is making somewhere between 10 and 20 bucks an hour, their day, 8 hours, the majority of wake up to go to dinner, is worth $100 to $200. That's the range, $100 to $200. So $300 a month with 3 who get 12 people buying the product, or 4 customers that buy on subscription, that's a day of work. That's 3 days of work. Like, I don't know how you base things, but for me, in my mind, I base my things based off of lifestyle, because my time is the resource that is very finite. We can always make more money. We can always choose to get healthy, start today, formulate a plan, and in 6 to 12 months, we'll look different and feel different, but we never get more time. So for me, I always base it in time. 4 customers that tested, don't guess, got awareness and education, and ultimately made a decision to buy, took it, and it made their life better. And you blessed their lives. 4 people equals 1 day back for work. So how many customers do you have? How much do you care? How many people have you tested, not guessed? How many coupon codes have you shared? These are all the questions that are the cornerstone foundations for exposures, because all of these expose them to the idea, the product, something new, and they all lead somewhere. And this is the process that we begin to bring this product to the people that we care about, to strangers. Even if you don't care about somebody, you probably should still see if they're down, because, hey, you know, why not? We do 5% check match. If somebody you didn't like made like $100,000 a month because you showed it to them and you got a 5% match on their check, was it worth it? Just show it to everybody. Let them decide whether that's one of the videos, whether that's the product, whether that's coupons, whether that's the test, don't guess. But all of those things involve you having to engage. So the one that we're about to talk about, I'm going to pass to Peyton, because this one is, to me, the most important one of all of them. But without the other 3, it's all for naught. So Peyton, take it away.
Yeah, that's so perfect, because as I was listening to you talk, Kevin, this is what I was thinking about. Number one is that basically, if you look at, you know, the beginning of the business is, so the vast majority of people that are going to participate as an influencer in a company like ours or in our company are going to do it for the first and second primary benefits. The first primary benefit is because they're going to want the product for themselves. They're going to want it because they're going to want to like improve, their minerals. They're going to want to improve their nutrition. They're going to want to improve their nitrous oxide levels. The second reason that they're going to be a consumer, and the second reason they're going to participate with it, is because they want to earn supplemental income. So they want to say, hey, you know what? Not only do I want to take this for myself, but there are 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 15, 20 people that I can think of that should be taking this also. And hey, if that can help me pay for a car payment, buy a day back, like Kevin said, that's going to be amazing. And then the third thing that's going to happen is that there are going to be people that are going to realize that they want more. There's going to be people that are going to realize that, look, the vehicle that they're in their life financially is a bicycle. And the vehicle that we have here, the ability to build an international business, the ability to have subscription revenue, and the ability to have scale, to have leverage, is a Ferrari. And it doesn't matter how good if you're a Tour de France rider, it doesn't matter if you are pedaling the bicycle at a world-class level. Somebody who is an idiot driver is going to get in a Ferrari and they are going to be able to go faster than the bicycle 100% of the time. And so that person is out there. And the truth is that the likelihood is that you're going to find that person in your own organization. So that person's going to show up not because you met them at Subway, but that person's going to show up because somebody somewhere in some country or in some state meets that person and introduces them to you. But now here's the critical part of the puzzle. You could do 1 through 3 all day. You could be world class at 1 through 3. And if the right message didn't land on the right person, you could miss out on the opportunity of a lifetime. And so the part 4 is learning how to present. And so there's always a key component to it where it's like the presentation becomes the part of the puzzle where somebody can see more for themselves. They can start to meet and hear from people that they can identify with themselves. One of two things happens when you start to get people connected to presentations. Somebody either looks at the presenter or listens to the story that the presenter has to say and says, wow, that person's going somewhere. I want to, jump on that bandwagon. I want to lock arms and go with them. Or they listen and they say, man, if that schmuck can do it, my gosh, what could I do? And either case is perfection. So when you realize that now you have to have a presentation, the number one thing that you want to be looking to learn if you want to become a leader, which basically means that you're somebody that wants to go beyond the potential of just 50% retail, of just getting customers. You want to now start to have the potential to override on tens of thousands of orders every single month all around the globe, whether you're sleeping or whether you're awake. And that starts by learning how to make a good presentation. So there's 2 parts to learning how to make a good presentation. The first part of it is that you have to learn how to tell your story. And what's so important about this is it does not matter whether you have a customer or 100. It does not matter whether you have a team of 1 or a team of 100. It's that you will be using the same technique to tell your story each and every time. And what's so important about that is you can't get this wrong, because if you tell your story authentically, that's your life. And so all you're doing is you have to use this framework to tell your story. So the first thing that you're going to talk about is who you are. The second thing you're going to talk about is where you were in your life. And the third thing you're going to talk about is what made you excited about this. Okay. And this is not a license to tell the entire story of the company, because what's going to come after your story is an actual presentation. It's going to be some PowerPoint slides, something that you can point at, some of the facts about the product, about the business, about the pay plan, about the company, about the owners, and about the direction that we're going in. And that is always going to be exactly the same, because what you want to have happen is you want dozens and dozens and dozens of people out in your business on a daily basis, telling their story, showing the slides, and helping people see something bigger. So again, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to introduce yourself. Hey, my name is Peyton. I live in Utah. I've been here for the last 20 years. Where I was when I found the business, I was looking for a way that I could have a non-traditional lifestyle and I could ski all the time. But the problem that I had was that I either was going to get a job and make money and never be able to ski, or I was going to be a bum and ski all the time and never have any money. And I was like, gosh, I got to find a way to do that. So what I found was, and this is number 3, what I found was when I met people doing this kind of business, I saw people that had what I wanted. They had time and they had money. And I thought to myself, if I could learn how to do the same thing because they would teach me, then maybe I could get the result that I'm looking for. So I got really excited, and here we are. That's it. That's enough of a story. If you can learn how to tell your story in that format, it does not have to be elaborate. It can be completely true. It doesn't matter if you're past broke, right? You know, they used to say broke used to be when you just ran out of money. Now you can just go sailing right by that, you know? And it's like, it might be that you've already had success in business and you just want to do something different. It could be that you had no interest in this at all, but the product did something amazing for you. It could be that you were good in your life, but you wanted something to help other people, right? Your story is your story. And if you can learn how to tell your story, now there's 3 different types of presentations that you're going to wind up doing. The first type of presentation that you're going to wind up doing is going to be the short form presentation. It's going to be 2 minutes. It's going to be something where you just jump on, maybe you jump in a group chat, jump on a quick, Zoom, jump on a 3-way call, something like that, talk to somebody, and you're just going to run through your story really quick, familiarize with them, hit a couple of bullet points, and validate what's already been told. The second type of presentation that you're going to do is going to be a little bit more of a long form presentation. It's going to be 5-10 minutes. It's going to be something that, again, is going to help somebody see something a little bit bigger. It's going to be a little bit more thorough. And it's usually going to be that next step that somebody's going to see to either make the final decision if they're going to start growing with you, or it's going to be the thing that you will meet somebody in this presentation who has already gathered 5 customers, 10 customers, 15, 20, 25 customers. And they're like, whoa, there's a business to this beyond just being an affiliate influencer, beyond just 25% coupon codes. And then the third type of presentation that you're going to learn is your long form presentation, which is going to be when maybe live or maybe for a big audience. It's going to be when you take people from not knowing to knowing. You start to build the level of belief in people that, look, this is not just a bag of greens. This is something that can crack off literally world-class income. And so the premise for this is that if you are somebody watching this today and you want to go beyond making 50% retail every time you gather a customer, and you want to start to grow an organization that could produce serious benefit to you, then practice your story today. And to just reiterate one more time, it's who you are. I like to say how old I am, where I live. I have a couple of kids, single dad, some of the just things that people can relate to. The second piece of the puzzle is where you were when you found the business. Kevin and I share a similar story in the sense that we're saying, hey, we both were working in real estate, earning good income, but there were some limitations to what that could provide. And so we knew that we needed something that could be bigger, right? So that's number 2. And number 3 is I got started because I saw in this that it was a company that was just getting started. It was a great product at a great price that had some really incredible benefits to it, cheaper than what's out there in the marketplace. And I realized that if I could be a part of the growth of this brand, that potentially I could override, and we could override, and the people that I share this with could change their lives by creating an army of subscription grass users, of subscription greens consumers, right? So that's how you're going to develop your story. And number 4 is something that if you plan to take this to a point where it can generate you, real income, I would encourage you to start today on learning your story. Start practicing in your car, start practicing. And then what'll happen is that as you grow into leadership, the leaders that you're working with will put you in situations over and over and over again to start letting you practice your story, and that you can learn to be that leader yourself. So those are the 4 key components of really, the basics, going back to the basics. If you can master those, you can write your ticket to freedom. And that's everything we got for you.